viewers voted in the next one, and we've timed it perfectly with Tom arriving. And the question is, and I don't want to go to Tom first. I know Tom's thoughts on this. I'm going to go to Patrick first on this one. Should Liverpool...
Which Patrick? The Spurs one or the City one?
Spurs, Patty. Yes, Spurs, Patty, sorry. Should Liverpool sack Jurgen Klopp?
Yes, to be fair. Any other manager with this crop of talent who was performing this badly, getting spanked by a team that hardly scored goals in Wolves. This isn't the Wolves under Nuno. This is the Wolves now who are crap. Losing week in and week out. Like, I'm not even surprised. I saw 1-0, saw 2-0. I thought maybe Liverpool might. And then I saw, you knew the game was over. Any other manager wouldn't get afforded this time. I understand what he's done. But right now, the team looks short. He looks short of ideas. He spent a lot of money. He has been backed. I just don't understand it. Some of the signings haven't made sense. The fact that he neglected the midfield and then in the end admitted he needed the midfielder, it was too late. The fact that he's brought in Gakpo, who they didn't need. Even Diaz, they didn't really need him. It's just a lot of weird signings. And the defence is looking very dodgy. Creativity's not there. Salah now is a shell of himself. Like, there's too many players that are out of form. And when there's so many players that are out of form, the same unit's not working, the manager has to take the flak for it. And like I said, if there's any other team with this crop of talent and a big club like Liverpool as well, they will get sacked.
Listen, I don't think some people in the comments will agree. Some will say, well, who comes in? And I mean, straight away, Chelsea have been linked with him today. Luis Enrique is available as an example. Thomas Tuchel is available. Poch is available. There are managers out there.
Be ambitious. Go look at Zidane. Why don't you try and be ambitious? Like, there's other managers out there.
How about yourself, like Igal? Like, you sort of look at their form. They've got to deep this for a minute. They have less points than Man United did at this stage last season. I understand he has more credit than Ollie, more credit than Ralph. Although Ollie would have had a lot more credit if he'd have won that Premier League title he deserved when he came second a few years ago to City. But but do you think the time is running out for Klopp? Do you think Klopp could even walk away, Igal? Because this guy is saying now, I don't know why we're not playing well. I don't know how to change it. He's weird facial expressions on the side of the pitch. Like, he doesn't even look well sometimes, Is time running out for Jurgen Klopp to turn this round?
I think personally he should leave at the end of the season, just out of mutual respect, based on the fact that if he's a person who works off of emotion and was connection with the fans and the players, and you could see his raw emotions in the game. Now, when you see him, he just doesn't seem like himself. He doesn't seem like he's as connected with his own players, because you can see the way that they're performing is not to what he would want, and he's not getting the best out of them based off the fact that it might have overstayed his welcome. Not in the sense that he's a great manager, of course. I'm just saying, based on the fact that they're performing the way that they're performing, you have to look at him and say, you know what are you doing to get better out of them? Could it be that his assistant manager, Pep Linders, who everyone's arguing about, but I think he's a scapegoat. I think the buck stops at Pep Guardiola and all these other managers in the league like Klopp. They are the be-on end-all. No one else supersedes them. So when it comes down to it, this is on him as a manager to see if he can get the better out of them come until the end of the season. But if they finish 8th, 10th, where they are right now, if they end the season in 10th, out of respect for himself, he should resign, and he should just be like, you know what, I think I've done as much as I have, and I don't think it's a situation where Liverpool will ever sack him. And if new owners come in, he should stay. But if new owners don't come in, he should just leave, and this should be the end of his chapter at Liverpool, because he stays any longer, he's going to become the villain. And we've seen it before with Arsene Wenger.
Sorry, Agal, can I just say, why do you think he should stay? Because you've seen that Klopp can't really do the whole, reinvention.
The reason why I say he should stay, if you get ownership that are going to invest heavily, he could, and they have the right people around him to do the right things, he could definitely get the best out of players. He's shown that he can get the best out of players, but he needs ownership that are going to invest heavily to get a new crop of players. If they're not going to get a new crop of players and it's just going to be the same old, he's going to have to leave. And the reason why I say they're never going to sack him, he has so much credit in the bank. We have to realize that he's not going to get sacked. He literally won everything for them. So would it be great to move on from him? Potentially, yes. And in the short term, will it get them wins? Yes. But are they going to be doing it? I don't think so. And are Liverpool fans going to be yelling Klopp out? Or the ownership going to just say, you know what, it's time to pull the trigger mid-season? I don't think so, unless they find themselves in an actual relegation battle.
Isn't that the issue, though, Igal? Sentiment. I think that's where most people fall down. Look, that's my daughter coughing. Sorry about that. Sentiment is the issue why some of these teams fall down, especially at Liverpool. I saw this last year, even during the quad. For them to win the quad, right? They didn't even score a goal against Chelsea. They had to win pens. Um, the squad was already going down, and yet they were not investing in midfielders. They brought in Thiago after Gini, and I told one of my Liverpool friends, "Look at the age of your squad members. It's you're not going to be able to press the same way. Things are going to go down." He said, "No, you shut up. Look after your own team. You struggle before us." Look at Klopp's history. I think Pat was about to say this. At men's, what happened? He brought them to the floor. He went down after years of staying there. I don't know if he walked away or he was sacked. I don't know if he walked away or sacked. But Dortmund, he left them in a very bad position. This man, I think Klopp, the issue he has is sentiment. He is attached to certain players. I think because they did it for him in the past, he doesn't want to let them go. As much as some people might look at Pep, he's ruthless. Look at Fergie. He got rid of David Beckham. Look at that. He got rid of players that are big enough than some of the players that you have at Liverpool. I just feel right now, Liverpool fans, I know right now it's tough and Klopp has done so much for you. But I think you guys are going to have to question him because some of the things that are happening in your club, you can't just blame FSG out. Same way as United fans, Glazers out. Now they're quiet, as some people are quiet. Like my brother is a United fan. He was like Glazers out. Now he hasn't said anything. FSG right now
Oh,
and
that's
Klopp are
because
both
they're
to
selling.
blame.
That's because they're selling the football club with one. They're leaving. Like it's
I know, I
Let,
know.
let, let
But
me
the
just
thing,
let me
no,
just
no,
stop
let me
you
let me
there.
let me finish,
I
you guys. Let
wanna.
me finish, you guys.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me
Go
just
ahead.
finish. The thing about Liverpool, as I said, it's sentiment. Right now, you guys are gonna have to just look at Klopp and say, you know what, man, you're not doing well. You have to go. I'm sorry. I don't think he's gonna be able to rebuild. He was given the opportunity to buy a midfielder. He went and bought Darwin Nunes. The funny thing is, people are busy laughing at Haaland. He has 25 goals. Nunes is 85 million. What is he doing apart from being chaos, Captain Chaos? You could have bought a midfielder that 85 million. Now, January comes in. I was like, oh, finally Liverpool are going to spend on a midfielder. Even if it's a 30 million midfielder or a midfielder less, they go get Gakpo. Gakpo, just because United wanted Gakpo, just because Nunes wanted to go to United, you wanted to get one over them. I think Michael Edwards was a genius, and I think he's the reason why right now some Liverpool is not making good decisions. I have a feeling that it's now Klopp who is making decisions on which players to buy. Thiago was never a placement for Gini. Gini was a workhorse and he was muscle. Fabinho, people keep saying, oh, this guy is finished. How can you be finished at the age of 29? Fernandinho came to City at the age of 29, but still did better. I just feel that right now, Klopp is not in the space and he's not going to rebuild this team, even if you give him money. I would rather just say, Klopp, goodbye. Thank you for everything. Bring on new ideas and start rebuilding again. That's all I wanted to say.
Fair enough.
I hear you on that. Deborah Luck here with an amazing super chat. Thank you for the donation. Says it's the team, not Klopp. From your top point of view, sort of listening to what Patrick, and they go out to say, Tom, Deborah Luck super chat here saying it, it's not Klopp, it's the team that he has. Like, I know you were very angry on Saturday after another beatdown in the Premier League. Like, how are you feeling now? Like 48 hours later.
Nothing changed. My point, everything I said then, I still believe now. I do think that dressing room isn't playing for Klopp. I do think that that dressing room is, whether it's they're just tired of his ideas or they want to play for it but they can't anymore. It's just not working. It's not working, and Jurgen Klopp as a manager is fantastic at the building phase. He's fantastic at getting in bang average players and tapping into sides that they never thought they had through emotions, through developments, this, that, and the other. But that's his biggest downfall when we get to this point. He's not. What's the best way I can put this? He's not a serial winner. That's the best way I can describe Jurgen Klopp. That man is not a serial winner because the teams he builds don't have the life cycle of a serial winner. That they have a 2 to 3 year period, and then they will fall off because the players just hit a limit, and because he forms such a connection with them because they were bang average when he got them, and then they've come up with him and this, that, and the other. He never cuts loose. He has a lot more say on these transfers. He does. I don't think Michael Edwards was the key behind it because I think you could go out and get Paul Mitchell, who used to be director of football at Tottenham, and he could do better. The issue isn't who the director of football is. It's letting the director of football and the scouts do their job. Because right now, it's like we've got a manager who's trying to do the squad, Then he's doing the transfers. Then he's doing PR and this, that, and the other. The club's a mess, and the takeover stuff isn't helping. We need clarification on what is going on regarding the future of this football club, regarding the sale process. We need something. We need the owners to speak out. Maybe that's a cause behind it. I don't know, but I just think that we've come to a real turning point with Klopp. And could he, if he gets these owners and he gets the money, could he turn it round? Maybe, but there's no evidence of that in the past. And because of the squad we've got, because of where I expect Liverpool Football Club to be as a team year in, year out, I don't want us to be his guinea pig. I don't want us to be the one that he gets to test it out with. Because if it doesn't work and we end up wasting hundreds of millions of pounds, then what's the point when we could have got a Tuchel, when we could have got a Ruben Amorim in right now and start the next phase of the project? Because that's what we are at the minute. We are a project club.
So
And until we get them win, am I Klopp? I'm not out, not now, not right this second, because I don't agree with mid-season changes. I don't see the point in bringing in my number one target.
But yeah, I mean,
What about the end of the season?
The season's over now anyway, isn't it? Like the Liverpool have
11. I need 11 points, Teddy. I need 11 points. Get me to 40, and then I'm sound. I don't need to watch the rest of the games. End of the season, there's a conversation that has to be had, and it has to be a proper conversation because.
So do you want him to walk, or do you want him to get sacked by the club?
I don't think again, like you said, he wouldn't get sacked. That man could get us relegated and he wouldn't get sacked because of what he's done and the love that the fans have for him. But I do see him walking if he doesn't believe that he can turn this around. And stuff that like the past, I don't know how much of the press conference you watched post-match. He just looks like a man who's going at everyone else. He's on the defensive. He's completely backed up against the wall. He's refusing to answer journalists' questions because of stuff they've written. It looks like a man who's out of ideas, and it's best for all parties if we consider him going and we bring in someone else. I mean, my number one target would be Thomas Tuchel. I think Thomas Tuchel is a fantastic manager, and I think under the restrictions that FSG provide, the man has worked under those restrictions in the past at Dortmund, so there wouldn't be much adaptation period needed. And this, you've got to bear in mind, this is a squad that should be at the business end of the table, the top end. This should be up there. I mean, even Salah, in one of his worst seasons I can remember him having, he still ended up with something like 24 goals and assists so far. So there's still clearly something in the squad. But I just think Jurgen Klopp's not the man to get it out of them anymore.
It's certainly an interesting one, and viewers, we obviously want your thoughts and feelings on this. There's a super chat that came in here that says, I think everyone needs to understand it is Klopp's fault. You don't build a team dependent on a high press and not get in solid rotation. I think the point as well around not buying energetic midfielders. He's got a lot of things wrong, Jurgen Klopp, and I think since Michael Edwards has left, it's really shown him up. This super chat here says overinflated assets can be used for tax evasion. Okay, yeah. I mean, thanks, Bill. I don't know what that in relation to, though, my bro.
I think I'm still going about Man City. I think this is still going about Man City.
Yeah, it could be. Is Aguero the new Harry Kane? Oh, what, with no trophies when City haven't pulled away? That'd be funny. Can you imagine? What has Chelsea ever paid for? AFC is bigger. How far back are you watching? That was about an hour ago that was said. Jesus, headbangers. Thank you for the super chat, though, my friend. I appreciate it. Reminder, Liverpool gave up 3 goals to the lowest scoring team in the league. Liverpool's second leading goal scorer since the World Cup is Terrace from Leicester.
He's not second. He's our top Premier League goal scorer since the return.
No way. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Guys,
that's a genuine stat.
Are we even shocked with Liverpool? Like, they lost 3-0 to Wolves, and I was like, yeah, I'm not too surprised. like I wasn't too surprised. I was more surprised Tottenham beat Man City.
As much as I want to banter Liverpool, I thought the game against Wolves was going to be one of those matches where they win, and maybe you get a few of their fans get a bit excited again. They lose a week later. Wolves barely score goals. They have improved under Locatelli, but I didn't. It wasn't just losing. Just like against Brighton twice, they were comprehensively battered. And that's what, even when Liverpool were bad back in the day, barring maybe the Roy Hodgson era, they were still in games they lost. They're still often the better team. Had good moments. I've watched Liverpool I've watched every game since the return of the World Cup, and I don't remember a match where they looked convincing. They moved the ball well. Even when they beat like Aston Villa were creating chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. And I've been called. It's a crazy one. It really is.